Good morning. I just realized when I said good morning, I said it as I'm like getting on a work call. I don't have any of those today because I am on PTO today, which feels really great, as I was yesterday. Morning, Greg. Hope all's well in your world. I took yesterday off. I took today off, and the wife and I are getting out of town for the weekend. So I've been just kind of getting all my ducks in a row, packing and cleaning the house and doing all those fun things so that we can just hit the road and get going. So hope all is well in your world, Greg. Hey, I saw last night the Pack Wars that you and Rowdy had, and that's a nice Soto that you pulled. So congratulations on that. That was fun. If I could, I would have chimed in. I like those Gold Rush products. They're probably some of my favorite products out there. I don't know. I like taking the risk and the chance on things like that. So, I don't know. Those are the things I like. I like them better than the breaks, even though I want to get into more breaks and do more consistent breaks. But those types of things, just I don't know. They really they excite me. And I mean, being right down the road from Steel City, I can go down there and buy one of those any chance that I want. Although you got to be careful with those on the website, because the first time I ever got one, I did it on the website and I thought I was getting like a slabbed card, and nope, it wasn't at all. So it was something totally different. 275 one card probably having a base. Yeah, I definitely understand that. I mean, it is a disappointment at that, but it's something I wanted to get into later. But I totally get what you mean. So, holy smokes. Kelly, good morning. Rick, good morning. Rick, you might have a client come in. Okay. So, Rick, I need you to explain to all of us what you do for work, that you may have a client coming in, but you have the ability to turn YouTube on and be on Twitter. I have a job like that as well, right? So I totally get it. Sandy, good morning. Oh, man, so good to see you. It's fantastic. Thanks for sharing the excitement of your son yesterday and getting the card. I appreciate that. Josh, good morning. Led by the main Hall of Famer there, Mr. Shrek. Good morning, sir. Hope you're well today. I like this, man. I like when the chat is lively and there's people in the room. Man, it makes just for a great way to start the day. Yeah. Job number 2 is running a tax office. Rick, I feel like you're going to be very busy for the next few months. Doesn't matter. Of course, probably closer to April, I would assume, is probably your busiest time. I do not envy you and the job that you have, but kudos and cheers to you. So, hey, my mug for the day, Cactus League. This is from last year's spring training when we went. Guardians pitchers and catchers report today. It's an exciting day for me, at least, and I know that all you baseball fans out there are pumped. So pitchers and catchers for the Guardians report today. Full team workout begins next Wednesday, and first game is next Saturday. I'm pumped. Sad I can't go to spring training this year. We got bigger plans for vacation, but hey, watching on TV is totally fine as well. Josh, snow day for you. Okay. How much snow you got up there in Michigan? Mr. Batos, good morning, sir. Josh, you're going to Ohio to visit where in Ohio do your in-laws live? And 4-day weekend with the family. That'll be fun. So my wife and I, we're going to snowshoe this weekend, and I don't know if anyone's familiar with Snowshoe, but it's a ski resort in West Virginia. Neither one of us ski, but we do everything else. So this weekend we're snowmobiling, we're tubing, and we're drinking and eating a ton. So it'll be a nice weekend away, that's for sure. Not a lot of snow, but ice. Dayton area, okay. Uh, so my next question then, Josh, is where in the Dayton area? And the reason I ask is I went to the University of Dayton, so fairly familiar with that area. So that's pretty cool. So Sandy, this will be the first time we've ever been tubing. Actually, this will be the first time that we have been to snowshoe in true winter. We've always gone kind of like in November-ish time frame, and we've always done the four-wheel in there through the woods. So we wanted to change it up this time and go when there's actual snow on the ground and do the snowmobiles and the tubing. So we're definitely looking forward to that this weekend. So I've already been told with the snowmobiles by somebody this morning that don't go up a hill, just stay on the flat ground. Probably good advice, seeing as we're going to drive those things at 5 o'clock in the evening, and that means we have probably 12 hours of drinking before it. So, yeah. Oh, Centerville. Yeah. I know exactly where Centerville is. Rick, Seven Springs is still open. I'm probably 30 to 45 minutes from Seven Springs. So yeah, it's definitely still open. Good day trip for sure. Lots of things to do there. But hey, appreciate you all being here this morning. So listen, it's a pretty important day today. Kelly alluded to it in the chat here if you missed it. And the RAK of the Day tweet has gone out. So I encourage everybody to share, to retweet, and most importantly, to suggest somebody for RAK of the Day, because today is National Random Act of Kindness Day. And obviously it kind of fits in right to what we do, right, with RAK of the Day. And not just with RAK of the Day, but everybody here. I mean, I just saw here, Rowdy, for all of us that know Rowdy, he just secured himself a Grail card of a Jeter auto, which is fantastic. And he said that one of his autos came from a Batos RAK too. So I mean, listen, we all do our own types of RAKs, right? And today, though, Kelly's going to do his own, RAK with RAK of the Day, and I don't know what it is. Only he does, and I'm excited to see where that's going to land. But Random Act of Kindness Day, right? I mean, it's definitely something. And I just missed my opportunity to do a big RAK because the mailman just showed up. My mailman never comes at 9 a.m. He's always here at 3 p.m. And I have 41 RAKs to go out, and I'm leaving this afternoon. Dang nabbit. So anyway, take a moment. I mean, there's going to be the opportunity for you to do some type of act of kindness today to somebody, right? Buying their coffee, opening a door for them, holding the door for them. Somebody needs help. I mean, just do it. I mean, it's human nature. There's so much crap going on in the world right now in our own country that just a little bit goes a long way, right? And I just implore everybody here to just take that moment today and just pass it on, because look, good karma comes back to you. I promise you that. It's come back to me on more than one occasion. And I really attribute it to the fact that, I try to help as many people, not only through this hobby, but I mean, my job every day too, and just my everyday life. You get so much joy out of it too. I'm speaking to the choir, the people that are in this room. So put that out in the world. Get Kelly's RAK of the Day as big as possible today, right? I mean, definitely shout it from the rooftops. I mean, This is the day. If you haven't nominated somebody, do it today. I'm telling you, if you haven't given a RAK, give a RAK today. Like, just find somebody. You see somebody that, is looking at a card on Twitter today, buy it for them. If you see somebody who, you just want to be nice, send them something. I mean, it doesn't matter. I get the question all the time from people. I've never given a RAK. How do I do it? You just do it. I mean, look, there's so many resources, right? I think all of us here are close enough that reach out to somebody and say, hey, I need somebody's address. What I do, if I don't know the person that's asking for the address, I will reach out to the person they're asking for to get permission to give the address. All right. But, do something simple. The question that people will fail to ask that I think they want to ask is, I don't have $100 card to RAK somebody. You don't need $100 card to RAK somebody. I just showed you. I have 41 RAKs right here. 41. Okay. In these envelopes, there's not a single numbered card. There's not a single patch card. There's not a single auto card. They are cards of individuals' PCs that I have interacted with, that I have, worked with, partnered with. And it's really what it is this is just a way of saying, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm thinking about you. You've been on my mind. Okay. It doesn't always have to be some monster hit. It doesn't always have to be some grail card for somebody. Just the thought of the kindness that you're bestowing upon them, that's what matters. That's what counts. It doesn't have to be this huge gesture. The other thing, too, you don't have to put it out there for everybody to see. Okay? If you choose to, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? You don't even have to tell the person you're sending it to them. Surprise them. Let them have that surprise in the mail. Or build the anticipation. Send them a picture of what you're sending them or a tracking number or something like that. Build that suspense. They never know what's going to happen. But it's the fact that you're thinking of them. And hey, if you can't send a card, send them a message. Kelly's very good about that. Send them a message. Hope you have a great day. Simple as that. Simple as that, right? So Kelly or Greg made a good favorite thing, sniping sales and racking it. Man, I tell you what, it's so fun to see those things. Greg, you're probably one of the best. Rowdy's up there too. Just going in and, taking care of business. Yeah, Kelly's another good point. Check out Employee 84's PWE Friday. I mean, I don't know. I need to ask him when he's doing his next one because I have some things I want to get out there too. But that is the perfect place, right? It takes no effort on yourself. He did it last week and I missed it. Oh crap! But it takes no effort. Find 10 cards, take a picture, put it on that thread. You're going to get 10 people that say, "I want that one." You get an envelope like this, you put a stamp on it, and you put it in the mail. It's so awesome. Oh, he just posted it. Josh, what's it called? All right, so check it out. Let's check it out together. I really feel like I'm on a work call. All right, everybody, pull out your phones. Oh, CCC collects. Wait, CCC collects. Isn't that wait. Oh. Okay, makes sense. Thank you, Josh, for clarifying that. Okay. All right, so this is an important one. I'm just putting this plug in for those that don't know Chris. recently passed away. Unfortunately, such a great guy. Yeah, and his kids Cam and Claire did so much. I mean, just it was so cool. Um, oh, he's gonna CCC Friday. This is so cool. I implore all of you, go put cards on this. Go take cards on this. Um, never be afraid to claim a card. I mean, never be afraid, but be willing to put cards on there if you're going to claim. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got work to do today, and I'm going out of town. This is going to be fun. um, no, but seriously, I mean, do those things. Like, make it intentional, make it fun for the people that are involved. I mean, there's just some really cool things that you can do. And I'm telling you, this is how you're going to discover people within this hobby that you've never dealt with before. So go find them. In fact, I think, I don't think it was, maybe it was J Rod. He's not in here. He's been posting though. I think that's how J Rod and I met, or maybe it was Ibras and I met, was through one of those threads. And, you know, I bought a card from somebody. I mean, you're going to find friends through these threads. So um, let's rack the world today, right? Let's rack the world today. It's going to be a phenomenal day. The unfortunate thing for me is I am going out of town this afternoon for the weekend. I am taking a break from Twitter this weekend. I have some scheduled posts, and if you see me posting anything, that will be me actually. But you're in good hands today with Kelly, Che tomorrow. I have a scheduled tweet on Sunday, and then Zach and Anna on Monday for Rack of the Days. And tonight, so on the weekends, I usually have a Hobby Heroes auction for Ripping for the Cure. I purposely didn't schedule one for this weekend, but we had a surprise come to Che and I last week from it's Yaz Fan. I'm going to butcher the Twitter handle. It is Yaz Fan 71. His name is Kelly. He said, "Hey, I want to auction this off for the American Heart Association. So tonight at 9:00, you're going to see a tweet go out with 3 pictures. It's a serving tray. It's a rocks glass of the Yankees core 4 with 4 glasses and pretty cool etching and whatnot on it. Opening bid's $50. It's going to run all weekend. 100% of the proceeds go to American Heart. So blow that up this weekend. Make it go as high as it can and whatnot. And check out Yaz Fan. I mean, I talked to him last week. He wants to start making these for people and kind of what Carolina Card Exchange does with those shadow boxes. So just really cool, unique stuff going on. So take a look at that this weekend. Yeah, Josh, I mean, right. You know, as a teacher, you know, you all interact with some of the greatest people, your students, and the things that you all do with your card clubs and just rewarding them with cards is pretty cool. So always a great place. Those Friday things are. So Greg, it's funny you mentioned that. So when we were approached with this last week, Che and I were talking and we said the same thing. Like, there are 2 people that we know for sure would really appreciate this, but we felt disingenuous for us making that decision, especially since it's a fundraiser and, you know, we want to try to raise as much money. So we didn't feel like it was the best use of our resources, our own personal resources, but by no means would I discourage you from doing that in any way. You know, you want to get look, I'll be in that group of people if you want to put something together, for sure. But I'm telling you, like, this hobby, it blows my mind every single day what we're doing. You know, yesterday, Caleb, who has 2 Twitter accounts. One is at the Doofus, and the other one is his charity sales thread at the Doofus Sales. Man, he hit me up at the beginning of, or end of January, and he's like, February, I'm doing charity sales for Ripping for the Cure. And look, I will never turn anything down if somebody wants to do a fundraiser for Ripping for the Cure, for the American Heart Association, for whatever the case may be, right? I think that's great. And I was like, sure, yeah. And so, we discussed it, did a few things. And yesterday he put a tweet out, $750 is what's being donated to Ripping for the Cure. I was completely shocked by that. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting, a couple $100, but not that. And like, it's that kind of dedication and support that we all have for one another. And, again, just the interaction and the talking with people, you're going to find those types of things. And, if you have a way to impact somebody through what you're doing in the hobby, take it. It doesn't matter. There's no small feats. And so after that, I saw Tim at Sigs for Soldiers tweet out that in 4 years, Sigs for Soldiers has raised over $218,000, which is absolutely mind-blowing. And on top of his tweet, he quoted it and said, "Imagine what I could do if I did this full time." And I responded to him and I said, I think about that every single day. I do. I love what I do for a living. I truly love what I do for a living. But I sit here and I think to myself, man, if I could run RAK of the day every day, if I could, do these charity threads every day as my job, with and I'm going to boast on myself for a minute here, with the skills that I have in fundraising and the knowledge that I have in fundraising, it would be a marriage for me that would last a lifetime. And it's truly a passion. And I think all of us here have that passion, whatnot. Josh brought up a good point here. Mr. K-Dub, yes, his hobby family awareness month, and I have missed like the last week. It's just shout outs of people. I think he had a goal of 600 shout outs this month. Just going on there and shouting out the good people, making people aware of who some of these folks are, why they should follow them, why they should interact with them. But the other thing Mr. K-Dub does too is he puts interactive posts out there. Show off this card, show off that card. Talk to me about this, tell me about that. And yesterday's was a good one of what drives you to continue collecting. And I knew we're going to get the answers of connects with my past when I was a kid or my kids, and that was one of my answers, right? Certainly was one of my answers. I'm 40, and started like all of us did as a kid. And now my son, is somewhat into it. It depends on what day it is. But one of the answers I put in there is it's the chase, right? It's honest to God, the chase, and that chase looks however you want it to look. Maybe it's a Grail card, maybe it's set building. I put together the base top set every year for my son since he was born in 17. My parents did that for me starting in 82. Maybe it's, maybe you're trying to put rainbows together, whatever the case may be. All right. But it comes down to a chase. And I was thrilled for Topps flagship to come out this week. I can't wait to open the box that I ordered. I see everybody else opening theirs and I'm like, when's mine going to get here? I just want to open it. I don't care what the hits are. I truly don't care what they are. I I just want to put that set together. And then when series 2 comes out, put the remainder of it. And but seeing everybody pull these things, I mean, they're really cool cards. Like, and the 88 design, that was my first like true memory of opening a pack of cards was 88 tops. I came home, it was kindergarten, came home, and I had the baseball, I don't know what storage case. My father left it for me on the table, had a box of 88 tops sitting there, and I knew exactly what it was. And I sat down and I opened every pack up. I sorted them by team. It was the most fun thing. And that 88 design, as much as everybody hates it, I absolutely love it. My favorite. I cannot wait to get my box and open it. Um, I'm super jealous of everybody that's got blasters in their area because I've yet to see any in mine. I was at Walmart and Target yesterday. And there were none. I mean, not that people took them, there just were none. The Walmart and Target were completely stocked, and there was no room for anything else. So I just want my box to get here, and I want to open it up so badly. Greg, you want to pull a superfractor? I'm kind of there with you too. Like, I think it would be really cool to pull a one of one out of something like that. Like, and it doesn't matter to me if it's Eli Morgan of the Guardians, like some no name, player. Um, just pulling that. I mean, that's kind of cool and exciting. Like if it were, I don't know, National Treasures or, some higher end product where one on ones are kind of prevalent, I don't know if I would have the same reaction to it. But seeing that in that true hobby box, I think would be pretty cool. I so last week, I went to Steel City Collectibles to pick up their donation for the cure, and I have a case of helmets sitting over here, and I felt obligated to buy something while I was there too, and I really wanted a box of Stadium Club where they were at a Stadium Club, and then I was kind of gravitating towards Gypsy Queen, and they were at a Gypsy Queen, and so I'm just like, I'm standing there and I'm talking to the guy, and I was like, all right, like, what should I buy? Just tell me what I should buy. And super nice guy. I know him pretty well. I know he wouldn't like try to upsell me in anything. And he's like, recently a lot of people have been coming in buying Topps Chrome. And I'm like, all right, I'll buy a box of Topps Chrome. Man, I gotta tell you, I don't typically feel disappointed after opening a product, but I was kind of disappointed. I mean, I was, I was just like, all right, didn't have quite the same feel, and I don't know if it's because it was limited to like, I don't know, 4 or 5 cards in a pack and whatnot, but I don't know. It was an okay product. So Topps, I need my box to get here soon. I'm itching to open it and whatnot. So, yeah, like, and I don't know, like I'm not a big product guy, I mean, I would like to try to buy more hobby boxes this year, but after opening that one last week, I was like, maybe not. Like, maybe I know that I'm focusing more on my PC this year. I'm focusing on more RAK cards this year. And I'm focusing more on breaks this year too. So, which I've been doing a horrible job of getting into breaks. I know BCB's had some really good breaks posted, and I just haven't pulled the trigger on it, and I should, but I haven't, and I definitely want to do that. So Josh, you're a Riley Green collector. Is that true? Because Randy, who's Rapids cards, is also a Riley Green collector. So I guess I got to split those two now. I don't know. But so why am I friends with so many Tigers fans? it seems like, I don't know, that's something I've noticed too with, with this hobby. I mean, obviously we're spread out all across the country, and there's so many allegiances to teams, but I feel like there's thanks, Kelly. But I feel like there's like core groups of people that I've somehow aligned myself with. You know, lots of Tigers, lots of Yankees, which the Yankees, whatever. Um, Yankees, well, yeah. Right, Greg? Yankees suck. Um, nice rack right there, Greg. So it's interesting, and but I'm a Guardians fan. I mean, I grew up in Northeast Ohio, so I mean, born and raised. I was just telling somebody, I was Kelly, who I spoke with last week on the phone, who donated that piece. He's a Carl Yastrzemski fan, living in Florida, but raised in Wisconsin and Indiana. And so I asked them, because I'm always interested, like, how do people either PC who they PC or they like who they like? And I asked him, I said, how did you become a Yastrzemski fan in Milwaukee? And he said that his grandfather was a huge Milwaukee Braves fan and was trying to push him to be a Milwaukee Braves fan. And the first game that this Kelly ever went to was a Red Sox Braves game. And he said that they were late to the game, and I guess they just missed Cecil Cooper at bat. I think it was Cecil Cooper. It could be somebody else, but that name stands out for some reason. Anyway, doesn't matter. And the next guy up the bat was Carl Yastrzemski, and he hit a home run. And he said that ever since then, he's been a Yastrzemski fan. I mean, I think that's just really, really cool to see. And, a lot of people, I mean, I think I'm pretty obvious being a Guardians fan, like I said, where I grew up. But if my parents and grandparents hadn't put that in my head, I kind of wonder, like, would I be a Cincinnati Reds fan, or in particular a Buddy Bell fan? Because the first baseball game I ever went to, I was probably 6 or 7 years old, was at Old Riverfront Stadium, and it was the Reds and Pirates. And in that game, Buddy Bell hit a walk-off home run. And I mean, it's my first baseball memory, but thankfully I was an Indians fan already, and so I didn't, I there was no way I was going to be a Reds fan. You just don't do that. I mean, they're Southern Ohio, I'm Northern Ohio. You don't cross the border. Um, so it's always interesting. And when I'm putting together, whether it's from card sales or whether it's racks like this, like, and I'm sending a card to somebody that's not in that like geographical region, I always sit there and try to think, like, why are they connected to this team? Why are they connected to this person? And a lot of times that's just a really good starting point in conversation with folks, and you'll learn a lot about people when you do that. So, do what you can and whatnot. Greg, I remember you telling me that you started as a Marlins fan. Um, and then your uncle tricked you as a bet into a Mets fan. I mean, I don't know which one would be better, right? Would it be a Marlins fan or a Mets fan? I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like both organizations are similar in ways. They have, really good years and then really crappy years. And okay, so you're right. The Marlins did win a World Series. Was that remind me, Greg, was that the 97 World Series? Were you a fan of theirs back then? Because if it was the 97 World Series, they should not have won that World Series. Just telling you right now. There was no reason for them to win that World Series. Look, this year, it's 75 years since the Indians / Guardians have won a World Series. So I'm a bit bitter. And while I anticipate them going to the playoffs this year, I don't anticipate them winning the World Series. Um, but stranger things have happened, like the Marlins winning the 97 World Series. So anyway, it's strange how people, become fans of their teams and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, Riley Green, man. Um, I didn't get to see him play in Erie. In fact, I've never been to Erie to see the team play, but I know he's done good things up there, and they really like him in the area. Um, I have a minor league team here too called the Pirates, and I living in Pittsburgh or just outside of Pittsburgh, I should say. I'm not a fan of the Pirates, but I'd like to see them do well. I mean, the city wants them to do well. Um, it's fun. I mean, they brought McCutcheon back this year, and as much as he's saying, oh, I'm not here for any type of farewell tour. I mean, aren't you though? I mean, farewell tour, or look, the Pirates are willing to sign me, and if I can, maybe get another year or two out, that'd be great. So let's see. So Josh says the only non-Tiger guy my boys PC is Judge. Yankees Red Sox game a couple years ago with the Bronx. It's Aaron Judge. I don't know. Like, I don't have a real sense of what type of guy Aaron Judge is. To me, he doesn't seem real arrogant or cocky. What I really liked about him is he bet on himself this past year and won, obviously. But I mean, he does. He just seems like he seems like he's a baseball player. But here's the crazy thing. I saw something the other day about Judge. It was his senior high school stats from baseball, football, and basketball. If you didn't know who Aaron Judge was today and somebody posted those stats on just some random guy, you would have thought basketball was his sport. I mean, he averaged something like 21 points, 13 rebounds a game. I mean, I was shocked. And then in fine print, they had pitching stats for him. And he went undefeated. He had an under 1 ERA and had something like 100 strikeouts. His hitting stats were, I mean, fine, 500 average. I think it was like 32 RBIs and 7 home runs. And I said to myself, anybody can hit 500 in high school. It doesn't matter who you are. You can hit 500 in high school. But yeah, he just seems like he's a good guy. I don't know a whole lot about him, what he does outside of baseball. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know, but I'm with you, Josh. I just generally don't like the Yankees either. I never have. I think because they were the team, right? Like 27 World Series championships and blah, 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 and all the players and the spending and Steinbrenner at the time. I mean, when the Indians beat them 22-0, I was like, that's awesome. So let's see. Tony, your dad was a Brooklyn Dodgers fan. Okay. Was crushed when they moved. Yeah, like, look, I can empathize with your dad, Tony, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like the Brooklyn Dodgers were just one of those classic teams. And when they moved to LA, and it took them a while, I'm sure. Like, I think they really embraced the LA lifestyle, like big, flashy, glitzy. Let's spend all this money now. And, but they still have that kind of moniker of this old school, traditional team. I don't really view them as a traditional team. Now, if they were still in Brooklyn, sure. I mean, I don't think you can get any more traditional than the Brooklyn Dodgers. I mean, from how they got their name as the Dodgers, to where they played in Ebbets Field, and obviously Jackie Robinson as a big part of that history, and Branch Rickey and everything they did. Great team, but I can empathize as a Browns fan when they left to go to Baltimore. Just broke my heart, and here I am, almost 25 years later, and they came back, and it's still breaking my heart. So. All right, Josh's fan's a Mets fan. My wife was never a baseball fan. Um, when we met, she embraced, the Indians and now Guardians, because of me. But we go to Pirates games. She'll wear, Pirate stuff, and I've always viewed baseball as more of a social game. It's not one of those where, oh, you're wearing the other team's colors, you better be careful, like football. I mean, baseball really is a social game. I remember I went to a Pirates game a few years back. Excuse me, I need some coffee. And there was a guy there with a Dodgers hat on sitting next to me. I had my Guardian or my Indian stuff on at the time, and neither of our teams were playing. And he's just sitting there, and I was like, what brought you to the game? And he's like, yeah, he goes, I live out in Youngstown, 45-minute drive, and yeah, I just wanted to come to a ball game, and he was telling about how he travels the country and goes to different games. I mean, just had a nice conversation with this guy. And baseball brings people together in that way, the social aspect. And that's why, like, I'm super excited for national this year. One, because I get to see all you lovely people, but two, the Guardians are playing the White Sox when it's there, and man, I cannot wait to go to, I'm going to call it Comiskey Park because I don't know what else to call it, because I haven't been there, and I can check that off my list. But also, I get to see the Guardians play in Chicago and just sit there with a bunch of baseball fans and have great conversations, eat some hot dogs and drink some beer. Can't get any better than that. Really, really can't get any better than that. But my wife likes the baseball games too. I mean, she likes to go just to go. My son is really getting into baseball. In fact, after the night of the Super Bowl, before he went to bed, I said, "All right, man, when you wake up in the morning, it'll be baseball season." And when he woke up the next morning, he says to me, first thing, "Do I have baseball practice today?" Well, he didn't quite get what I was trying to say to him, but it's that mentality, and I'm so thrilled that he's taken a liking to the game, and whether he wants to play it long term is up to him. But man, if we can just be fans together and travel the country to all these stadiums and do that type of stuff, it's going to be fan freaking tastic. All right, so Rick says here, Friday PWE got claimed. Woohoo! I put one up last week and it didn't get claimed. Got to be honest, it hurt a bit. So, Rick, it's so great to hear, man. I'm glad that you participated. I'm glad to hear that it got claimed, and you know the hurtness. I mean, look, it's a big thread. You know, Will does a great job with that thread, and it's hard to get through all of it sometimes. So yeah, glad that you got it in there, and don't ever be afraid to start your own, or don't ever be afraid to just, hey, I got these cards. Who wants them? It's on me. Seriously, it, that's one of these things that boggles my mind sometimes. Is you know, look, I got this 25-cent card, but I'm still going to charge you $1 for shipping. I get that you want to make money, but don't make money on the shipping. Like, build it into the cost of the card. Just do it. Sorry, that's my little soapbox. I'm gonna get off it now. But no, Rick, that's fantastic, man. I'm glad to hear that, and hopefully, hopefully you find something nice in that as well. Rick, remind me, what's your PC? I know I could probably look it up here, but what is your PC? Anything crazy or fun? So, Rick, wait, Rick, I probably knew that. Dang it. Rick, are you in Pittsburgh? I probably know that too, and I apologize. I'm asking so many questions. I I have a good memory at times when it counts, but a lot of stuff up here. South Carolina, born in Pittsburgh. Okay, Rick, I'm going to ask you one more question. Where in Pittsburgh were you born? Like, location wise? Don't tell me the hospital, just the location. I think one of my favorite racks Oh, Bethel Park. Okay, I think I did know that about you. There's a lot of people on Twitter in the Pittsburgh area that are in the South Hills, Bethel Park in particular. Um, I think one of my favorite racks that we did was December of 2021. It was on YouTube here, just like this. And we racked Zach Johnson a Marcus Mariota signed full size helmet, just on a whim. It was pretty cool to see. Haven't done that's the first one we did, and I wanted to do more of those last year, but I mean, life gets in the way and things happen. I would love to do another one at some point for somebody. I mean, it just came out of nowhere. I thought that was pretty cool, but you know, National Random Act of Kindness Day. Go out there, do good things for people today, and every day, really. And if and be intentional about it. Don't like check the box. Just go and be intentional. When you find the opportunity, as Kelly just said here, be the good. I mean, truly, truly be the good. I'm looking around at what I can see right now, and I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 racks that I can see. 5, my first racks right there that I've received. That just reminds you, that there are people doing the good, and we gotta reciprocate and be that good too. Um, so I got all morning. I can stay on here all day. Well, not all day. I can stay on for a good chunk of this morning. If you want to hang out and just continue the conversation, I have no problem with that. I have nothing going on. I'm prepared for the day. Um, now that baseball season's is upon us, pitchers and catchers are reporting. What's everyone's predictions? Passing time at work. Hey, Greg, I'm glad that I am helping you do that. I don't know what that says about your work day, but happy that I can provide some assistance. But what's some predictions for the baseball season this year? What are division winners, World Series winners, um, MVP, those types of things. So I I haven't settled on a whole lot yet. I do believe that the Guardians will win the Central this year, although I think it's going to be a tight race. Sandy, I think it's going to be a tight race between the Guardians and the Twins. I mean, a couple of games here or there, just like it was last year. But I do think the Guardians will pull it out. I think a lot of their young guys that did well last year will do well again this year. So I think that's going to be an edge. I don't know about Carlos Correa in Minnesota. The whole debacle this offseason, you know, what's it going to do in the dugout or the clubhouse this year with them? I don't know. Old age Mets falter at the finish line again. Greg, I'm so sorry. Um, I think really the only lock I think are the Astros as a division winner, at least in my eyes. The NL Central, I can never pin down any one team in that division, and I don't know why. I can always rule out the Pirates and the Reds out of that one, but between the Cubs, Cardinals, and Brewers, it's always tough. I feel like. Um, uh, Greg, it's not that I'm not a Mariners believer. Okay, I shouldn't say the Astros are a lock. Um, I think they have the strongest odds out of any team to win their division. The Mariners are good. They are. They made some good moves this offseason. Obviously, J Rod there, and I hope that he is the phenom that people are making him out to be. Um, I would like to see some excitement out west there. But I do think the Astros will still take the division. I think the Mariners will make the playoffs. And depending on their matchup in the playoffs, they could win and move on to the divisional round. But we'll see. I think the AL East will be a fun race between the Yankees, the Rays, and the Blue Jays. I don't think the Orioles, based on the success they had last year, will be a pennant contender this year. If they had made a splashy move with either Correa or Story or somebody like that, then maybe. Greg, you know what? I don't know off the top of my head if they did get somebody. I know they signed Javier to a deal, but I don't know. And I don't honestly, I don't know how Verlander's still doing it at his age. Kudos to him for that. But yeah, I don't know who they signed. I think the Padres are going to be a really fun team to watch with all the stars they have. I just hope that their egos don't get in the way. I'm sure you're hoping that, Greg. And I hope he does too, for your sake. The Padres are going to be fun. Again, a lot of egos in that clubhouse. I hope that they will come together and be a cohesive unit. Josh, I plan on being the good still, man. You continue the same thing. Hope you have a good day. I'm sure. Oh, you got a snow day, so you have no kids today, unless they're doing remote stuff. But I don't know. I'm excited for baseball. I don't think I'm going to be able to go to opening day this year. We went last year and it was a great time, but I don't think I'm going to be able to go this year, which really stinks. I think the disappointment well, I should say the home opener, because the Guardians start on the road this year, which I was just going to say, I'm disappointed they open out west this year. So I got to stay up till 10 o'clock to watch opening day for them. By a show of hands, does anybody here take the day off work because of opening day? I do. I definitely do. I take the whole day off. I sit around, I watch baseball. Depending on what's going on with RAKs and charities, I work on that stuff, but I definitely do. I take the day off, and my boss knows it, and she will send me texts all day, just kind of checking in and seeing how things are going. So, what's the last thing anybody purchased for your PC? Let me put it that way. What's the last thing you purchased for your PC? I'd show you mine, but it's way over there. I can't reach it right now. But mine was a Brooks Robinson signed baseball. I got how many I got here? 13, 14. I got 24 signed balls sitting here in front of me. 26 actually. Majority of them are Hall of Famers, and that's the PC is Hall of Fame signed baseballs. So I'm pretty excited about that one. And it's a big focus this year for me. But what's the last PC item that you all purchased, and why? Okay, Sandy, 1960 Gator Bowl seat cushion. So I know that you're a Florida Gators fan. Tell me about the seat cushion, because that's a unique item. And what do you do with it? Like, do you have Sandy, I feel like if you're purchasing something like that, I feel like you have a pretty extensive collection that you're displaying. So how do you display that? Greg, Pete Alonso gilded 25 auto. Heck yeah, man. That definitely counts. That's a huge PC edition. So Greg, that begs the question then. Are you going for the rainbow? Because I mean, I imagine those are I'd imagine aren't they one of like the top tier products right now? So are you gonna chase that rainbow? Um, but yeah, that's the other thing I'm always impressed with are people's displays because I'm a big memorabilia person. I mean, you can see my helmets there, my Ohio State helmets. I got a Bob Feller somewhere photo there, along with an autograph um, and a book. That book right there, you can't really tell what it is, but it's like a history of baseball book. But it came from Bob Feller's estate. Somebody sent it to me as a RAK. It came from his estate. It's stamped inside that it's from his house. That's a pretty unique piece. Yeah, Greg, like I know. One of ones, I mean, it does. So I'm chasing a Kenny Lofton rainbow of the 2020 Tops Black Chrome. I can't, whatever, but it's his autographs. And like, I need the 5 and the 1 for it. And I mean, obviously, those two are scarce. And the last 5 I saw was like, I think it sold for like 250. And I'm like, I may just have to be happy with what I have because, man, I mean, that's crazy. So 1959, Cons, Wieners, Roy Face. Roy Face. Rick, did Roy Face, was he a Pirates? Did he play for the Pirates? Greg, that's so awesome. Man, that's so, yeah. So, Greg, let me ask you this. If it were, if it were a Carlos Rodon superfractor in a Yankees uniform this year, one of one, would you chase that rainbow and try to put the whole thing together? Because I have some stipulations like for myself, right? Like if with those types of things, I wouldn't want to. I don't necessarily hate you, Greg. I just like to stir the pot. Um, because I mean, listen, like if I were to pull, I don't know, Greg. I mean, if I were to pull Pete Alonso 101, there's no way that I would keep it. Okay. I would not keep it. I have no interest in keeping it. I know you would want it. Um, so it's those types of stipulations, Okay. So Rick, Roy Face, that's what I thought. So my father-in-law, he was a superintendent of, in the prison system here in Pennsylvania, for, I mean, his career. And one of the programs that he put into place were for former pirates to come and do like meet and greets. And Roy Face was one of those. I thought so because he has a picture in his display room. So that's what I thought. Um, yeah. See, so Greg, like I'll be honest, like as much as I enjoy racking, something like that I would sell. Um, Simply because I mean I think you understand, based on what I do for charities and whatnot. I mean, it would I would sell it, to do that. But if it were, let's just take Pete Alonso for example. I have no idea what a Pete Alonso superfractor would ever go for. But would I sell it to you for the comp price that it's supposed to be? No, uh, you know. But I would still like to make something for charity, obviously. Um, So Sandy says here, if it's Gators, it will find a place in my collection. 1969 was Florida versus Baylor, 113-12. Reinders found it. Man, I tell you what, for those of you that don't know Chris Reinders, his collection is by far one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Um, I mean, he's got the sports side, but the historical pieces that he has are so freaking awesome. I love when he posts things like that, and I like looking at it and seeing it. Yeah, I appreciate that, Greg. And that I do want to do just a quick plug here for some of the charity stuff. So we got American Heart right now going on. Next month, Kevin Franken, who's Cards Kevin, he is going to be doing the Humane Society in New Jersey that he did last year. Got a pretty personal connection to that right now, and I'll let him tell that story. Of course, I have Ripping for the Cure going on right now, so we're this close to it. Actually, we're over $1,000 now. Not when you look at it though on paper. So this weekend, I want to hit 1,000 like on paper. So go make donations at Ripping for the Cure. $50 will get you into the random, but this long weekend, make any donation and I'll put you in the random. I want to get to that $1,000. I have 22 items, 23 items sitting here for the mega break. If you have memorabilia items that you want to donate to the mega break, let me know. Would love to talk to you about it. I have cards also that I'm collecting, and I'm going to show you all this card as long as I don't fall out of my seat. So I've never included cards in the mega break, but this year I am. I have one card right now. And so I'm looking for more like encapsulated cards of autos, graded cards, of rookies. And, and look, I am asking for these things to be donated. I can't purchase these things. You'll get two things for the donation. One, you'll get into the mega break random. Two, I can definitely give you a tax write-off for it through the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. But I can't purchase these things. So I'm trying to get cards. I'd like to have like 10 cards at most. And these are kind of things. So I'll give you an example. Chris Batto sent this to me for it. It's a pretty cool Magic Johnson auto. So like these are the types of things I'm looking for. It's the leaf encapsulated buyback stuff. So, I thought that was pretty cool. Greg, I definitely would take Earl Campbell jersey. Yeah. So if you have stuff that like it's laying around and you don't know what to do with it, and you don't really want to take the time to sell it, I'll certainly take it off your hands for the mega break. And same with Rack of the Day. Like if you have that kind of stuff, I'll take it off your hands as well and find people for it. Like I'm building the national racks right now. I'm doing other things with that. For Rack of the, let's see, is that all for Ripping for the Cure? Oh, the other thing for Ripping for the Cure too is I still have a lot of weekends in March, April, and May for Hobby Hero auctions. So if you have, again, stuff like that, memorabilia, cards, anything like that you would want to put up for auction, let me know. We can chat offline. I run the auction. Again, it gets you spots in the mega break and whatnot. And, again, it gets stuff out of your house. Again, it's up to you on what you want to do. Rack of the Day. So like I am putting together the national racks right now for when I go to national. My goal this year is to hand out 150 different racks in those silver packs. If you followed along last year, what I'm looking for are patch cards, autos, numbered cards, slabs, and encapsulated, and rather cheap stuff. Like that stuff I'm looking to purchase from you. And cheap memorabilia too, baseballs, helmets, jerseys, whatever the case may be, photos, doesn't matter. That stuff I will purchase from you. But again, I have a budget I have to stay within for my own personal finances. And so I might not be able to get it today, but maybe in a couple of weeks. So if you have stuff like that, please reach out. I'm willing to look at bulk lots. I'm willing to, take stuff off your hand. I am, however, going to be somewhat particular at times. So don't think that I'm a jerk if I say no, thank you. If you present something to me, and look, again, everything that I do is coming from my own pocket when it comes to this stuff. So, if I ask for a lower price, I hope I don't offend you. But it's just me trying to work within the means that I have. So, just kind of let me know your thoughts. Reach out to me on Twitter. If you have my phone number, you can text me. I know a few people have my phone number, so that's fine too. And if you're sending me stuff for Ripping for the Cure, DM me first. Let me know that it's coming, because I don't open that stuff. It sits here on my bar. I don't open it until the mega break takes place in May, because it is a break. I don't want people to think that, I fooled around with it or anything like that. So I did open this one just because the cards I'm going to open because I need to make them all uniform, with the packaging. So that's a little different, but anything else you can do. George Springer Sports Illustrated cover poster. Greg, if you're willing, certainly let me know what you want to do with either one of those things. If you want to do Ripping for the Cure, Mega Break, auction, or Rack of the Day, we can talk for sure. A really cool thing happening, I think it's March. Yeah, the weekend of March 10th through the 12th. I haven't announced this yet. I'm getting ready to. Is I've partnered with TriStar with Rack of the Day. And what I'm doing this year with Rack of the Day is I'm in my personal sales, I'm doing proceeds are going to the monthly charity. So this month it's American Heart Association. And then the remaining proceeds are going to what's called the Rack of the Day Micro Grant Program. And what this program is meant to do is, if somebody's going through a medical issue, or somebody went through a natural disaster, or, things like that, like we're just helping individuals, not with PC hobby stuff. It's with the stuff that they need in their own personal lives. This micro grant program is going to be an outlet for people to reach out to me and say, hey, we're doing this for this reason. And I want Rack of the Day to be able to say, okay, we're going to send X amount of dollars to support this, or we're going to match up to X amount of dollars to help support this. And so Greg actually has helped me with this. So I've created a program where I've reached out to a lot of the hobby partners, so to say, asking for their support in this. And right now, TriStar has come on board as a partner. And the weekend of March 10th through the 12th, I will have 5 memorabilia pieces up for auction that weekend through TriStar. And the proceeds from that will go and benefit this Rack of the Day micro grant program. I don't know what the items are yet. I've been in touch with them over these last few days to secure those. I think I'll have a better idea next week of what they are. What I can tell you right now is the minimum opening bid for each item will be $100. It's their program, actually. I'm just kind of sliding into it, and we've worked it to fit. So I wish I could say that I'm going to get all $500 minimum for this. These are on consignment, so I have to pay whatever the difference is out of that. It's a big long thing, but I think it's going to be a really great program. I'm super excited about it. I'm thrilled that I was able to get somebody like TriStar to join in to do this. They're excited. They've supported Ripping for the Cure in the past with donated items. So to see them do this to help raise money to help people is just phenomenal. And so once I know what those items are, I will certainly put them out there for everybody to know, so that you can kind of start planning. on what you want to do with them. But I'm thrilled. I can't wait. It's going to be pretty cool and pretty awesome. I've told them to limit it to baseball and football. I don't know a whole lot of basketball collectors, so I wanted to start with the two sports that I'm kind of involved with, and I know a lot of other people are. So be on the lookout for that. Like I said, I think it's March 10th through the 12th, but I'll be sure to get more details out there. But all right, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. It's been fun talking with everybody today. National Random Act of Kindness Day. Go do your thing today. Kelly's Rack of the Day is out there, so make sure that you're looking at that. The auction tonight through Sunday for the American Heart Association, be sure to check that out. Support the Rack of the Day folks this weekend. Che at Ian Sports Cards is tomorrow. Sundays is already pre-planned. And then Monday is Anna and Zach. So support them this weekend, please. Because like I said, I am trying to take a break this weekend. So I need all the support that we can get with that. And just continue supporting. Go support CCC Friday that Will has going on right now. And look, as Kelly said earlier, be the good. Thanks, everybody. Greg, Kelly, Josh, Rick, everybody that's here. Peace. Have a good weekend.